The rain came down like a curtain, blurring the road ahead into a gray haze. She never saw the old truck until it was too late. The crash wasn't loud, but it was enough to change everything.
Her luxury car, worth more than most homes, sat crumpled against a rusted pickup that looked like it had survived 100 storms. She stepped out, furious and shaken, completely unaware that the man she had just hit was carrying the last secret her father had ever left behind. Sometimes life doesn't knock before it changes your story. Sometimes it crashes right into you. Before we begin, if stories like this touch your heart, don't forget to subscribe to Echoes of Stories, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support keeps these stories alive. Sheila Monroe had everything: money, influence, and a last name that opened doors. As the only daughter of a billionaire industrialist, she had grown up surrounded by luxury. But ever since her father passed away a year ago, something felt incomplete. His death had been sudden, leaving behind a massive business empire and a silence she couldn't fill. That evening, she was driving back from a tense board meeting. The company was struggling without her father's leadership, and every decision felt like walking on broken glass. Distracted by her thoughts, she never saw the truck coming. The man stepped out of the truck slowly. He was older, maybe in his late 50s, with tired eyes and grease-stained hands. His jacket was worn, his boots muddy, but there was something steady about him, something calm. "Are you okay?" he asked gently. Sheila blinked, surprised. She had expected anger, maybe shouting. Instead, his voice held only concern. "I'm fine," she said, brushing rain from her face. "But look at my car." He glanced at the damaged vehicle, then back at her. Cars can be fixed. People matter more. His words irritated her more than they comforted her. "Do you have any idea how much that car costs?" He gave a faint smile. "Probably more than my truck." Sheila sighed sharply. "Just give me your insurance details." The man hesitated. "I don't have insurance." Her frustration exploded. "Unbelievable! Do you know who I am?" He shook his head. "No, ma'am. And I don't think it matters." That answer caught her completely off guard. A tow truck arrived shortly after. As Sheila prepared to leave, the man approached her again. "My name's Daniel," he said. "If you want, I can fix your car. I run a small garage nearby." She almost laughed. "You fix this?" He nodded. "I've worked on worse." She hesitated. Something in his quiet confidence made her pause. Against her better judgment, she agreed. The next day, Sheila visited his garage. It was small, tucked away on the edge of town. The paint was peeling and the sign above the door barely hung in place, but inside it was organized, clean, and filled with tools that had clearly been used with care. Daniel worked quietly, focused, as if the world outside didn't exist. Sheila watched him, curious despite herself. "You've been doing this long?" she asked. "Long enough," he replied. Days passed as he repaired her car. Sheila found herself returning, not just to check on the progress, but to talk. Daniel wasn't like anyone she knew. He didn't care about her wealth or her status. He spoke simply and honestly. One afternoon, she noticed an old photograph pinned to the wall. It showed a younger Daniel standing beside her father. Her heart skipped a beat. "Where did you get that?" she asked. Daniel turned, and for a moment his expression changed. Something deeper, almost painful. "I used to work for your father," he said quietly. Sheila frowned. "That's impossible. I would have known." He shook his head. "Not everything happens in boardrooms." She stepped closer. "What do you mean?" Daniel wiped his hands and sat down, as if preparing to open a door he had kept closed for years. "Your father wasn't just a businessman," he said. "He helped people quietly. People who had nowhere else to go." Sheila's voice softened. "Why didn't he ever tell me?" "Because he didn't want recognition. He believed kindness should be given. not announced. Daniel reached into an old drawer and pulled out a small, worn envelope, its edges yellowed with time. "He asked me to keep this," Daniel said. "He told me to give it to you when the time was right." Sheila's hands trembled as she took it. Inside was a letter in her father's handwriting. "Dear Sheila," it began, "if you're reading this, it means life has led you to Daniel. That's no accident. He's one of the strongest men I've ever known. Not because of what he has, but because of what he gives." Tears blurred her vision as she continued reading. "I built an empire, but I learned too late that success means nothing without kindness. Daniel taught me that. He showed me what it means to care for others when there's nothing to gain." The letter continued. "If you ever feel lost, remember this. The greatest legacy you can leave isn't wealth, it's kindness. Help people. Listen to them. See them." By the time she finished reading, tears were streaming down her face. "I didn't know," she whispered. Daniel nodded. "He didn't want you to feel pressured. He wanted you to discover it yourself." Sheila sat in silence, the weight of her father's words settling deep within her. For the first time in a long time, something inside her shifted. The next day, she returned to the garage, not as a customer, but as someone searching for purpose. "What if we work together?" she asked. Daniel looked surprised. "What do you mean?" "My father helped people quietly," she said. "I want to continue that, but bigger. We can fix cars for those who can't afford it, help families who depend on them." Daniel studied her for a moment, then smiled. That sounds like something he'd be proud of. Weeks turned into months. The small garage became something more, a place where people found not just repairs, but hope. Single parents, struggling workers, and elderly drivers all found help without judgment. And Sheila changed. She still ran her father's company, but now she saw things differently. She listened more, she cared more, she understood that true wealth wasn't measured in dollars, but in the lives you touched. One evening, as the sun set behind the garage, Sheila stood beside Daniel, watching a young mother drive away in her newly repaired car, tears of gratitude in her eyes. "I crashed into you that night," Sheila said softly, "but it feels like you saved me." Daniel chuckled. "Funny how life works." Sheila smiled, holding her father's letter close. Sometimes, the greatest lessons don't come from success or power. They come from unexpected moments, from strangers who become teachers, from kindness that asks for nothing in return. And sometimes, the road to discovering who you are begins with a crash.
So wherever you are, remember this. Kindness doesn't need wealth. It doesn't need recognition. It only needs a willing heart. Because even the smallest act of kindness can carry a secret powerful enough to change someone's life forever.